All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here, Jimmy Britt, the amazing Chevy Ram dealer here in Statesboro. But what we're talking about today is depreciation and your resale value and what to expect. Okay, can you even expect today anymore? Well, let's take a look at this. Okay, for example, we're looking at, here's a bunch of Wranglers. We got a bunch of Wranglers right here. The amazing Jeep Wrangler. You go back 5 years ago, there was only one vehicle that had better resale than a Wrangler, and it was a Toyota Tacoma. Not even a Tundra did. These held their value better than anything else out there except for a Tacoma. Nothing could match it. Now they're way down the list, another 5 or 6 notches. Why? Because of the pricing BS stuff that Stellantis did and what they've done with them, and then having to offer huge rebates and all the sales, and the fact that anybody can walk in and buy one for 15% off all day long, and the stuff that they went through. They're starting to get back on track now. Kaniskis is in there, Tavares is out, prices are coming down, things are stabilizing, but it was very touchy-feely, and it hurt the reliability or resale of that. Tundra, okay, Tundra was always pretty good resale value, but the resale value is not what it is anymore because of the new engines and what they've went through and the recalls, and there's so many things that can affect resale value of a truck, of a car, of anything. But you can protect yourself against it. Let's talk a little bit about depreciation. So I went on Kelley Blue Book and I got the numbers right here for you off of Kelley Blue Book site. You're welcome to go on here and look it up yourself. But so now this is over cars, trucks, SUVs, and everything. This is a general across the board average. In the first year, average vehicles, now trucks will be higher than average, they're much higher value than cars are. Trucks are higher value than SUVs are even. So these numbers are but this is the average. First year depreciation for a vehicle is 16%. Okay, average. Trucks are higher, they're less depreciation, higher value than that. That puts it at 84% of MSRP value after 1 year. Okay, trucks are closer to 90%, some even reaching 93, 94%, but still, think about all those times in the comments you see people go, oh, it loses 30 grand or losing 30% the second you drive it off the lot. No, it does not. Okay, that was your grandpa's tale that he used to tell and things like that they used to say. But no, in reality today, the average car only loses 16% of depreciation in the entire first year that it is owned. In the entire first year, in trucks, on average, is closer to 90%, meaning they only lose 10%. Year two, it goes down another 12%, okay, on average for all vehicles. So that takes it down to 72% of value the second year you own it, 72% of MSRP value. By year 3, it goes another 11% drop in year 3. Takes it down to 61% of MSRP value. Year 4 takes it down another 9%. Notice we're getting a little less each year. Okay, but year 4, 9% loss takes it down to 52% of MSRP in year 4. Year 5, we lose another 7%, which takes us down to 45% on average for cars, closer to 55, almost 60% for trucks. Okay, so that's where we're at 5 years in. So for 5 years, you've average again on a truck lost about 40% of the value on average. Now, so we look at this in reality. Year 1 was 16, year 2 was 12, year 3 was 11, 4 was 9, 5 was 7. So every year that you keep it, it loses a little bit less every year. That's the nice thing. The biggest is the first year. Year 1, 16% on average. 16% depreciation on average. If you count year 1 and year 2 together, that is a grand total on average of, what is that? That would be 29 or 28%. 28% on average is what you're going to lose on a truck today on average, or on a car, 28% in the first 2 years you own it. Trucks will be higher than that. Trucks will not be 28%, they will be closer to the 20% in the first 2 years. Trucks hold value very, very well. Now, all vehicles are volatile. The used market fluctuates daily, where new vehicles do not fluctuate daily. The used market literally ups and downs almost every single day. So that can vary any moment. So you might hit, and it could come down way down. Look at what we've seen since the pandemic stuff over the last 5 years. Look at what we have seen. Used cars skyrocket in value, and then we've seen them the floor drop out on them. We see this happen all the time. So there's no way for you to predict 5 years from now what your brand new vehicle is going to be worth. There's nothing, okay? Again, perfect example is this Jeep. or a Tundra or a Tacoma. Okay, they don't have what they had before. The 2024, the new Tacoma, which Tacoma's always been a resale king, is flatlined. It's in bad space right now for resale. Okay, it's just not there. The third gen still are, but the new fourth gen is not. Wrangler was king of the hill for a long time, top shelf, right below the Tacoma for forever, for decades. It was right there. Now, like I said, it's got some work to do to get back up there. It's struggling a little bit because of all these variables. So you cannot predict what your actual value is going to be down the road. There is no way to pad that or understand that. You also cannot manipulate the market. What we mean by that is the buyer, when you go to sell your vehicle, the buyer dictates the price. So you cannot say, well, I'm going to charge $5,000 more for mine, because the buyers won't buy it. You don't get to say that. They get to make the decision to buy it from you or not, and that's their choice. Okay, they have many other options out there. So if you're not competitive, it doesn't sell. That's the way the game works. However, when you buy it new, you are the buyer and you do have the power. Brings us to, how do we beat depreciation? Okay, with all these unknowns, all these variables, all these uncontrollables, all these things that are there, how do you pad yourself to make sure that you do get the best resale value out of your vehicle? You buy your resale up front. That's how you beat depreciation. You buy it up front. How do you buy it up front? You get a better deal on it. This amazing Color 41 2025 Willis 35 package on here. What are we coming in at? $58,000. This one's loaded up pretty good, but $58,000 for this Jeep right here. Beautiful Jeep. Would I pay $58,000 for this? No way, no possible way whatsoever. Now, would I pay 47, 48 for this? Yeah, I'd pay 47, 48 for this. Let's say you paid 48. We buy this for 48, okay? What, and it's coming in at 58. So we're 58, right? What were we at? Yeah, we're 58. So it's coming in at 58. Let's round it, say everything all together is 60. And let's just say that you got it for, let's say you got it for 48. 60,000 total, 48 is what you paid for it. You got a good deal. You got $12,000 off. What is $12,000 of 60,000? It's 20%. Okay, so now you just bought this thing for 20% less than what it is. Very doable. Okay, that is not ridiculous. Now, you might read in some of the comments, I'd like to see you get that for $12,000. People are doing it every single day. What deal you can and can't work is your business, okay? I have playlists and information out there. We'll teach you how to get the good deals. More power to you if you can. But I promise you this, I will not be buying any car that I cannot get at least 10% off on, and realistically, I'm looking for at least minimum for myself. I won't buy a truck I don't think I can't get 15% off, and I'm probably shooting more for 20. That's where I want to be at, 20, 23, 24%. I've done it many times in the past. So what you can and can't do, I don't care, but don't tell me what I can and can't do. And so you want to buy this $60,000, and you get $12,000 off, you got 20% off. What did our depreciation list just talk about on here? So if we look at it, which is on my very handy note right here, okay, we look at that, depreciation for the first year is 16%, and actually in reality for a truck, it is more like 10%. And then by year two, we're at 28%, but in a truck world, we're more like 22%. So 2 years, I can buy this and own it for 2 years. And even if it's average, that's average numbers. If it's an average vehicle, it depreciates 22%. What did I buy up front? What did I save? I saved 20% already. So I can drive it for 2 years, and I basically am not going to lose a penny on it because of the fact that I paid for the depreciation by getting the better deal on the vehicle. I got rid of the 20% that is going to depreciate because I bought it for 20% less than what the MSRP is. That's how you beat this. Now, does it work perfectly every time, and are you going to walk away scot-free? No. You're going to always do the best you can here, but when it's time to sell this, look at my Gladiator. Okay, when I bought my Gladiator, I got 20% off on my Gladiator. Okay, and that was a year and a half ago. Back then, nobody was getting 20% off on a Gladiator. It wasn't even happening. Okay, nobody could do it. It just wasn't working, and I did it, and I was super proud. 2 months later, the floor falls out, and everybody's getting all kinds of deals, 15%, 12%, some people beating mine, and then for the whole last year, 20% right now. 2024s are going for 20% off, no questions asked, sign a paper. Do you think that my 20% off I got on my Gladiator has got any value to it today if I were to go selling it? No. I'm going to lose some money. I'm going to lose a little bit of money. There's no way around it because the market made it that way. Had the market stayed where it was and what it was when I bought mine, I would have been good. Markets change daily in a used world, and they change constantly in a new world. So do not bank on what your resale value will be. Understand that the only thing that matters is that depreciation can change, resale can change. You do your best to pad yourself for it by getting the best deal on the vehicle up front. That way, if you want to sell it, well, what if you don't plan to sell it? Okay, what if you plan to keep it? Or what if you even think that, okay, well, I'm not that worried about it because I'm going to drive it for 5 years. Well, you're going to drive it for 5 years, but what happens on year 2 if it gets in a bad accident, but they don't total it out, and now they put it back together, insurance pays for everything, it's got a big hit on the insurance already, or on it, major accident, so the value's already dropped out, and they didn't put it together right. Your dash squeaks, things rattle, it doesn't drive straight, and everything makes all kind of weird noises and clunks, and you're just fed up with it, and you want to get out of it, and guess what? You can't really well because you didn't buy it right. The only way to pad yourself for everything is to get the best deal. Always get the best deal. Questions, comments, anything you got, put them down below for me, but that is the reality of depreciation today from both sides. Thanks for watching.